Okay, so for this lesson I've jumped ahead again slightly, and I've just manually added in, using standard AutoCAD commands, a few pieces of furniture. This is really just to give us a sense of scale, and B, something to add some location blocks onto, which, as you'll see in a second, we'll need to do now. So space blocks are basically AutoCAD blocks which are specifically designed for Excitech FM and allow us to track space. So every location or every piece of space that you wish to track as an individual piece outside of the general floor areas requires a space block. Now these can be inserted manually using the standard insert command, and either located, browsed for on the system, or I happen to have one in this drawing already. So the standard space block is called A standard, or ASTD, and we can actually position this on the floor plan. I'm going to put it over in this room here, we'll see why later. And as a standard AutoCAD insert command, so it prompts us for the location number and the area and so on. Okay, I'm just going to leave that blank for now. This comes in as a standard size, so by default this is a 1 meter square block. Okay, may be different on your system, but generally they'll almost always be 1 meter square blocks. Now, when positioning a block like that over these locations here, then it's not going to be the correct size. So we have a tool. So up here, if I select the place space blocks, now this can be used to modify existing locations. We'll cover that in another training session later. But it can also be used to add. Now by default it's going to ask us to select an existing space block, but because we want to use this in add mode, we right click. So it then moves to the next step, which is the standard step anyway, which is picking the lower left corner of the, in this case, new space block. Now I'm going to pick a point here, and then the top, it now asks us for the top left corner, upper left corner, and then the upper right corner. So it always asks you for 3 points to define that kind of L shape around the location. And you notice after we pick the last point, it will actually add a new space block for us, and it's automatically sized and scaled it to suit this particular location. Now at this point it's worth noting that we're still in the space block command. So this time it's asking us to select another space block. Now we can just either press return or right click, in which case it thinks we're now going to add another one, which we are. So we're going to select lower left corner again, upper left corner, upper right corner. Again it's going to ask us to select another space block, so we could right click again. Now we have the option of positioning yet another space block. For now we're going to actually exit out the command, and we do that by just right clicking again. So it's basically 2 right clicks or 2 returns or space bars to exit out the command, and now we're back out of that command. Now it is worth noting that when adding space blocks, they are just standard space blocks at this point, and therefore we can, if we want to, just actually use the standard copy command. We just select those 2 space blocks, and if I just copy them from there to there, then we see we literally just copy them. So we don't have to use the place space block command up here. If we don't want to use that, if it's quicker to just copy them already sized, then we can do that as well. So that basically covers the addition of space blocks to a drawing.